Good morning, good morning. Dr. Gary here on the road. It's summertime and it is beautiful. We are dental practice brokers nationwide. We sell dental practices. I was a dentist for 25 years and now doing the dental practice brokerage for 14 years nationwide. Today's topic is the dental practice which we thought was impossible to sell finds a buyer. We'll get into what happened. Surprised me. So as you know, we're now in 22 states across the country. We have our 10 employees, including 2 CPA accountants. So we have a whole team to give you support and buy a practice. We're not a smaller mom and pop dental brokerage type office. We're available to you 363 days a year. We take off Christmas and Easter. The phones are answered 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. worldwide. If ever I'm out of the country, my team takes my phone and continues to answer it. Our phone number is 201-663-0935. And our website is dentalpracticeguide.com or Nationwide Dental Practice Brokers. Everything you're about to hear today is for entertainment and is not legal or business advice. Now, if you're thinking about selling to one of the DSOs, the large corporate dentists, please let us know, because there's a lot of changes going on now in year 24, 23. And we know the inside information that is not published, you won't hear about, it won't be broadcast. We find out information about various DSOs. Some having financial troubles, some are growing, some have strength. We have the inside information, so we know who the best ones for you are. We're independent of them, but they pay our commission. So as you as a seller, there's no commission. And also, hiring us and using us as a broker, we could be your advocate, using our knowledge, our resources, our CPA accountants. We can help get you the highest dollar amount, but also the best buyers, the best DSOs. Now, also when you work with us, we're going to get your legal fees reimbursed upon successful closing. I don't know any other broker in the country that's doing that now. Just some simple criteria you have to follow. You'll get your legal fees reimbursed. Any practice that sells for $1 million or more, whether it's a DSO or not, we'll get your legal fees based on some criteria, simple, reimbursed. Now, let's talk about the impossible practice to sell. I mean, I still can't believe this. Let me paint the scene for you. As you know, we're answering that phone every single day, every hour. The phone never goes unanswered, except when I'm flying or swimming in the ocean. In fact, I got some waterproof headphones that I got for the pool now, so I don't miss it then either. So I'm at the beach. I'm hanging out, relaxing. Rather than read a novel or something, I'd rather do, emails and make deals. And if I'm going to listen to a novel, I'd listen to it by audio tape rather than sit there and just read it. It just doesn't move fast enough for me. So I like making deals. This is our business. This is what we do full-time, 24/7. We're into it. We enjoy it. So I'm at the beach. It's a beautiful day. The phone rings. Naturally, I pick it up. And it's a buyer concerning one of the practices which we have for sale. It's in one of the suburbs of New York City, which I thought was just going to be like impossible to sell. This may have to be a record sale or something. The reason I thought it was impossible, almost impossible to sell, but we never give up. We don't really use the word impossible. As we said, almost impossible. So this practice is an area of New York and Queens that's extremely affluent. It's just like a subdivision area. But there happens to be an ethnic group of people that all want to live in this microcosm, this very small area. And the houses hardly sit on the marketplace for long at all and sell for top dollar. What do I mean by top dollar? A simple home from the 1950s with a couple of bedrooms. It's tiny, with a little yard. Is selling for $900,000 plus. And they knock down houses in this area and put up houses for $3, $4, $5 million, $6 million. They go crazy. You would say, why would someone spend millions of dollars to build this home in this area? It's because it's just a small, unique, very cultural similar population that all want to be in that neighborhood. That's it. So homes go for an astronomical amount of money. So much money just doesn't make sense. It's not reflective of any market that's out there. So I'd known the doctor, because we're getting this repeat business now, because we're doing this 14 years. So people that I sold their practice before, to them, they were a buyer, or they had two practices and this is their second one they were holding on to. This is a home office, which are so difficult to sell. And it was a home office with two operatories. And the office was in the basement. So I'm like, this will be challenging to sell, but we'll give it our best shot. And the doctor knew we hustled. He knew we were on our game. So we'll market this locally and nationally. We will get this thing, we'll give it the best shot to get it sold. And we'll do whatever we can. The message to you, you'll hear in a second what you should follow. So I thought, let's market it, let's advertise it. We do everything locally and nationally with my marketing team. We have an in-house marketing director. We just don't throw an advertisement out there. We broadcast it nationwide. Now you would think, who in California wants to buy a practice in New York? Whatever. It's not going to happen. Why advertise in California? Because you don't know. You don't know where this buyer is coming from. You can't predict it. Nobody can predict it. You cannot predict the future. And you can't predict the future based on the past. Because you can't predict it. Simple as that. So, I'm on the beach. The phone rings. Happens to be one of my previous buyers. And says, hey, you got that house for sale. Well, that's in my neighborhood. Not only is it in my neighborhood, but I think I know which one it is because I'm across the street from it. And I've always dreamed about having a home office. But I am not leaving. I don't want to leave my neighborhood. So here is a anomaly. You would think it's never going to sell. And how I wouldn't dream that one of my previous buyers, who was very happy with our services, would want a house in this area. And a house with a dental practice. Home offices are very hard to find. To sell a home office in an area like this, which is super affluent, with a certain cultural uniqueness to it, I'm like, how's this going to ever happen? I've only had the practice on the market for 3 weeks. And now we have a buyer. So I say to you, just when you think it's going to be impossible to sell your practice, or more challenging, there may be a buyer out there that meets the criteria to purchase a practice like this. Remind me, this is a 2-operatory practice in the basement of a tiny house that you would never dream would be worth close to $1 million. Never. And now we have a buyer. I mean, we put our effort in. It was one of my previous buyers that I had no idea lived in this area. But the buyer read the ad, the advertisement we had, and we broadcast it everywhere. I said, I think that's across the street, because I think that's the only dental office and a home office in my entire neighborhood. And the neighborhood is not that big. We're talking less than a half a mile. This entire neighborhood. How could this be? But it happened. The message is very clear. No matter what type of practice you have to at least give it a shot, an attempt to get it sold. You've got to do that. And granted, some practices, and for example, a super rural area, that there's no density, no population, yeah, it's going to be a little tough. But you have to at least try. Put it on the market. It doesn't cost you anything. Put it on the market and give it a shot. Now, certain areas are going to take much longer than other areas. I didn't dream that this, of course, is a highly densely populated area in the suburbs of New York, but I never dreamed in 3 weeks we'd find a buyer. Well, we have a buyer. So I immediately got in touch with the seller. I said, you're not going to believe this. You are not going to believe this. We have a buyer that's really interested. Not only is the buyer interested, he knows exactly where you're located. And it's across the street from him. I mean, this is unheard of. So it does happen. It can happen. Any practice, anywhere, at least give it the opportunity to put on the market. Don't even dream about just walking away from it, even though you figured nobody's ever going to buy this. This is virtually impossible to sell. And some of them are very hard. I'll admit there are some practices occasionally you can't sell, but you've got to give it a shot. You've got to get it out there. You've got to get it marketed, advertised, and put it out there. Give it a chance, because it's just so possible that the nearly impossible practice may find a buyer. Don't ever give hope up. Anyway, we got another beautiful day. I'm heading to the beach again, and who knows, the phone may ring again. So don't give up. Now, we'll have more stories like this. So if you like what you're hearing, hit the subscribe button. And we're banging out a lot of videos. I think we're over 500 now. And as you know, we're involved in 22 states, working for you every day except Christmas and Easter. And let's get your practice on the market. No matter how difficult it is, maybe to sell, let's give it a try. Thank you. Bye now.